the Patisandhi Chitta, the rupas of the body produced by the 4 different causes. In the beginning, it's just the karma-produced rupas and temperature-produced rupas, and then the chitta-produced rupas and nutriment-produced rupas. They're all supported by the chitta and cetasikas arising by post-nascence condition, so that those rupas, the temperature can condition more temperature and so on.
Và chúng ta cũng không biết là vừa rồi là đã được dịch chưa Thanh Tâm? Cũng chưa hả? Vâng, thế thì con xin dịch tiếp cái đoạn vừa rồi. Cô Sarah con nói về cái khoảnh khắc đầu tiên của một kiếp sống, thì chúng ta biết là lúc đó có các cái sắc, có 3 nhóm sắc là sắc nhãn căn, thân căn, sắc ý vật và sắc tính nam hoặc sắc tính nữ đều do nghiệp sinh được tạo ra. Thì đương nhiên là ở thời điểm đó sẽ chưa có cái gọi là hậu sinh duyên, nhưng mà sau đó tâm tiếp theo thì những cái tâm và tâm sở tiếp theo nó sẽ nuôi dưỡng, nó sẽ hỗ trợ cho những cái sắc mà đã được tạo ra ở cái khoảnh khắc đầu tiên của thức tái tục này, để chúng có thể tiếp diễn. Ví dụ như chúng có thể tạo ra thêm nhiệt độ hay là tạo ra những cái sắc mới sau đó.
And also just briefly from last time, you were asking about the Kamaja rupas that just arise in a group of 9, just the 8 indivisible rupas and Jivitindriya rupa. And as you mentioned, in the Asanya Sata Brahma realm, which is the result of 5th jhana, only these groups of 9 rupas arise, because there's no namas arising, no attachment to namas. So only these rupas arise. And when there is spontaneous birth, as it said in survey, there are just in the Rupa Brahma realm only 4 groups, 4 kalapas of Kamaja rupas, the Haryawatu, the eye sense, the ear sense, and also just the group of 9 rupas, the 8 indivisible and Jivitindriya rupa. So that's all I know about them.
Thank you, Sarah. Vừa rồi được dịch rồi đúng không Thanh Tâm? Okay, so now we can see if Achan is there. Achan,
I think she is here now.
Competeค่ะ. Do you know if Achan is there?
คุณพีททำไงก็ไม่เจอได้ยินไหมคะ
สวัสดีครับท่านอาจารย์
ครับท่านอาจารย์
I don't know how to use it.
ครับ
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you ครับท่านอาจารย์ครับ
แล้วไงมันไปทางไหนมันหาไม่เจอว่าจะทำยังไงต่อไปโอเคยังเหรอหรือไง
ครับตอนนี้ท่านอาจารย์สามารถพูดได้ตามปกติ
มันไม่เห็นอะไรเลยว่าจะปิดหรือจะเปิดพูดไปไงพูดได้เลยเฉยๆหน้าตาอะไรก็ไม่มี
ครับตอนนี้ท่านอาจารย์พูดได้เลยครับตอนนี้ทุกคนได้ยินเสียงท่านอาจารย์
Yes, we can hear you, Ajahn.
Okay, what's about
Yes,
now,
thank
please,
you.
again?
Right.
Yes. Okay. Dạ, không biết là có đạo hữu nào có câu hỏi muốn đặt ra không ạ? Xin đạo hữu giơ tay ạ. Vâng, trong lúc chờ đợi, thực ra con nghĩ là mọi người cũng có rất là nhiều câu hỏi từ những cái buổi phát đàm trước trong nội bộ của Vietnam.Dhamma Home. Thì xin mọi người nhớ lại để giơ tay đặt câu hỏi. Thì tạm thời con sẽ đặt một câu hỏi liên quan đến sắc. Chúng ta cũng biết là dưỡng chất là một trong những cái sắc thuộc nhóm 8 sắc bất ly, tức là ở bất cứ nơi nào có sắc thì đều có dưỡng chất. Tuy nhiên thì không phải sắc dưỡng chất nào cũng có thể tạo ra những cái sắc mới. Vì thế nên là những cái vật chất ở ngoài thân chẳng hạn thì chỉ có thể được duyên bởi nghiệp, chứ không phải là được bởi nhiệt độ, chứ không phải bởi dưỡng chất. Và với trên thân thì cũng như vậy. Nếu như một người mà không ăn thì sẽ không thể có những cái sắc mới được tạo ra, mặc dù là các sắc trên thân thì cũng rõ dưỡng chất rồi. Thì con muốn hỏi về cái điểm này là vì sao lại như vậy, cái điều gì ở cái nơi những cái sắc, những cái nơi như là ta gọi là thức ăn thì nó lại có những cái sắc dưỡng chất mà có thể tạo ra được sắc mới. Okay, so I think there will be other questions coming up, but you know, to start, I will ask a question concerning the rupas, and that is the ocha. So we know that ocha is one of the 8 indivisible rupas that arise with all groups of rupas. However, not all ocha can produce new rupas. For example, the rupas outside of the body, they cannot condition more rupa by ocha because they are only conditioned by temperature. Or the rupas in our body, although the ocha is there, but unless one takes food, there cannot be new rupas produced by nutriment. So the question is, what makes the difference? Why the food, you know, that we eat can help to produce more rupa by way of nutriment, but not other groups, not ocha in other groups.
Does anyone like to experience a rupa in the kalapa? Just in a kalapa?
It's impossible, Ajahn.
That's why who knows that there must be ocha. And the rupa cannot do anything. It's a function of the ocha conditioned by kamma or chitta or uttu or ahara. Ahara, see. It conditioned the rupa, ahara rupa, ocha. That's why we have to eat, everyone. Can we live without food at all?
Everyone needs to eat.
That's the way rupa of all kinds of conditions has to be as such as it is. Otherwise, it's only hard, see? But it's not just only hardness. There are other rupas too. And the rupa is different. The ocha can condition rupa, while the hardness cannot. That's all.
And in your question, Tam, I think you're asking about why the oja in the groups of rupas in food provide nutriment, but not in other groups of rupas. Is that correct?
Yes, because other group cannot produce more rupas, right?
But for example, like the group of rupas in a table, the oja in the groups of rupas in a table, it's no nutriment that will feed the body for us, but it can feed the worm, the ants' bodies. They may feed on the oja in the groups, the kalapas in the table, for example, or the worms. So different kinds of oja, different kinds of nutriment provide the necessary essence for living for different living beings.
Yes, but it seems like it has to be shallow, and there's some kind of processing for that ocha to produce more rupas, because like we cannot eat, we cannot live without food. That means that the ocha that is present in the rupas on our body cannot by themselves produce food, produce ocha or new rupas, I mean.
I don't think that follows.
Yes.
I don't think that follows. Why do you say that?
Well, because if we don't
They can't
take
produce
food,
enough food or to, but they, as I understand it, they do produce. I may be wrong, but I don't think you can use can. As far as I know, the body does feed off itself to a certain extent.
That's why one can live for quite a long time without eating outside food because of the nutriment in the groups of rupas in the body.
And what about the temperature? Is it not needed either? Or what? The rupa, condition the rupa. And for the kama bhumi, there must be rupa. Otherwise, it cannot be this plane of existence. So the rupa conditioned by karma is needed for the body from head to toe too, not just the temperature and the food and the nutrition.
My comments are just based on my general observation. I don't know from a Dhamma perspective whether you have some information that on this point, but just as a general observation, it seems to me the body does feed on itself.
because it has come from the book on conditionality. It says that nutritive essence present in the group of rupas of the body cannot produce new rupas without the support of external nutritive essence in food. That is what I read in the
Right.
book.
You're reading from conditionality, Nina's writing on conditionality. Yes.
Right.
Does she give a source for that piece of information?
No.
It may be because, generally speaking, there has to be food. We know one cannot continue to live without food, without the nutritive essence in food. But it doesn't mean there has to be that nutritive essence from food all the time, or it doesn't mean one cannot go quite a long time without it, because there is still nutritive essence being conditioning rupas in the body in the meantime. But that supply runs out. That's how I understand it.
And citta in this plane of existence arise without rupa as condition?
No, Ashan.
That's it, that's all. In this plane of existence, there must be rupa, hatiyawatu. Otherwise, citta cannot arise at all. It's the plane of 5 khandas. Not only 4 khandas or 1 khanda. That's why Chitta also conditioned by Rupa by way of it needs Satya Vatu to arise. And Chakku Vinyana also needs Chakku Vatu to condition its arising. Each Chitta depends on Rupa in the plane of 5 khandas. And Rupa arises and falls away by different conditions. The Rupa is the Rupa, but at moment of seeing, they cannot be seen without Rupa as conditions. But
Dhamma, I notice. Sorry, please go on, Ajahn.
But the Rupa cannot experience anything. It's just the way it is. It doesn't have any idea that it supports the Chitta to arise so, at all. Rupa is Rupa, Chitta is Chitta, but in the plane of 5 khandas, the Rupa is there as a condition for Chitta to arise from the first moment to the end of life. Would anyone like to live without Rupa in this plane?
Have no idea, Ajahn.
That's why learn to understand Pacaya, Rupa condition Chitta. By what Pacaya? And Pacaya means without it, there cannot be that which is conditioned by it. Even seeing, there can never be seeing without Rupa at all. But Rupa cannot experience anything. It has no intention to support or to condition anything. Rupa is Rupa.
By the way, Ajahn, in the Arupa Brahma plane, there's no Rupa at all, so only the mind-door processes. And the object of those mind-door processes are very different from our mind-door processes, right? In the way that we have a lot of objects that come from what have been seen or heard and touched, but in those in that plane, they're only idea of it. So no images or, or, or sound or like the way we have in our thoughts.
Is there ignorance?
Yes.
So is there thinking?
Yes.
That's all.
Could there be memory from previous lifetimes? I don't know.
There must be memory, for sure. But what about before death? Before death, what is there? To condition life in the Arupa Brahma? No Rupa at all. Thinking about dreaming.
thinking about what, though, I think Tambak's question is, what would the thinking be
For
about?
those who have experienced the rupa, it takes rupa as such. But can there be the object which is not rupa for this plane? Is it
For our plane, we don't remember things of the previous lives, but maybe in
Thinking
the
about
Brahma.
thinking about oneself?
Why not? It's there already.
Mm.
And what about feeling? See, ignorance of feeling, clinging to feeling. So very pleasant feeling. But depending on arupajana, what kind of feeling is there? What about understanding what is there right now? The rupa is there now, and the namas are there now. If there's no understanding of doubt right now, how can it be known? That doubt is a reality, conditioned to arise and fall away. That's all. How to understand this moment is the most important point of living. Understanding this moment, understand that which has arisen right now, is the only way. Otherwise, no matter how much we think about this or that, it is not the moment of understanding the truth. What is there right now? That which has arisen right now by conditions and gone. So very subtle. Is it nivarana now?
Yes.
See, it hinders the understanding of the truth. What nivarana is there now? See, it's there unknown. And if it's not known, there must be the clinging again and again to no matter what is there, even thinking about Arupa Brahma or thinking about Rupa. It is just thinking. What chitta is there, kusala or akusala? How much ignorance added and added and added each moment of akusala? Is it that should be considered? Is it achindaya or chindaya? Should it be object of considering, studying? Because it cannot be understood as long as this moment is not clearly understood. There can never be any understanding of what we are thinking about. So it's time to understand that which is now appearing. It's time to consider the truth of this moment. It's time to understand what is the most precious moment now. As much as there can be a little more understanding of what is there, as no one, not anything at all, no matter where, in the Rupa Brahma, no one at all Dhammas. So now it's time to consider the truth of this moment only. Otherwise, right understanding cannot develop. It's covered up again and again by ignorance, attachment, and different ideas. Not right understanding. So what is it? When it's not right understanding. Having more wrong understanding, unknown wrong understanding, that now there's no understanding of what is there right now. And there can be a little more understanding of no one seen now. Little by little, it's quite clear because it's seen, but the idea of someone there seen is quite wrong. Atta, opposite of anatta. So when will the time to realize the truth, that which is seen, is so short, it's gone. No one there at all. Not anything in what is now appearing. So be true to the truth, Satya Bharami, firm confidence of the truth. It's not anyone seen. It's not a door seen. It's not a cat seen. See, in daily life. Otherwise, it's not right understanding of what is there right now. What is seen now, instead of thinking about the Rupa Brahma or the Rupa, just thinking about the Rupa, and the Rupa appears unknown as before. Thinking about other Rupa by conditions. So shall we talk about that which can be understood right now or anytime? Like saying now, and that which cannot be anyone at all, no matter at moment of seeing on the screen or at the moment, touching something and seeing, knowing the shape and form, taking it for something, just dreaming about that which is seen, and keep on thinking about other things. So how can there be a moment of realizing the truth? The truth is the truth. What is seen cannot be anything. So the point should be understanding that which appears or just dreaming about many things. Out of that which is seen and out of what is heard and so on in a day. And it's that confidence of the truth that it has to be right now known, little by little, even just a little by little, even just a little is so worthy, so worthwhile. Hearing about it again and again and again. No one there. Should that be a little more confidence? No one there. No one seen. No one think. Even the question, what is there now? What's the answer?
We can give the answer at Cambridge because we already know that
What is there?
Dhamma, seeing, hearing, sound, we can answer that.
All at once or just one moment at a time, experience and object.
A moment at a time.
Mhm. So be true to the truth. What is there? What? Only one. What? What is there? Now,
Dukkha Vedana,
no thought about that which experiences the object. It has to be in every moment. Chitta. We call it vinyana or manindriya and so on. But no thought, no attention to the nature of that as not I am thinking, not anyone at all. It's there, hidden, unknown, all the time in life. So it's now hidden too. Each moment is there. No one there. Even that which is hidden arises and falls away in truth. No more doubt about Rupa.
there will be no doubt.
Oh, there is still doubt.
I don't know if Jonathan, you were about to say something earlier.
Oh, just to follow up a bit on your original comment, and sorry if I rather interrupted you when you were talking, but I just felt that my observation in life didn't agree with your comment. So looking at Nina's, the extract you read from Nina's article or chapter, I think if you read on, I won't read it out, but if you read on further, it'll be clear that the rupas, the nutriment in the rupas of the body can produce new rupas, but they need the support of external nutritive essence. And the following paragraph, which reads, when nutriment has been taken, the nutritive essence present in the body can produce new rupas, new groups of rupas, etc. And nutritive essence present in such an octad can in its turn produce another group of 8 inseparable rupas. In this way, several octads produced by nutrition will arise one after the other. And thus nutriment which has been taken can be sufficient for some time afterwards. And there's a reference to the Visuddhimagga. So just to summarize that, to make it easy for Hai, I think it's clear that the rupas of the body and the nutritive essence in those rupas can produce other rupas.
And that's why one doesn't have to be eating all the time and can carry on for many days without eating, because the rupas in the body can be nutriment in the rupas in the groups in the body can condition other groups.
With the help of external.
There has to be the external nutritive essence from time to time, but not all the time.
So how does it help? How does it support?
if we stopped eating, taking any food at all, then after a certain period, we would die because there would be no more nutritive essence left in the body to produce groups of rupas. So there has to be the taking of nutritive essence in the food from time to time, just like a mother bird bringing food back for the chicks, and then they can manage for a certain period without it. And it's the same for us. There has to be the taking of food, nutritive essence from outside the body, but then the nutritive essence and the groups of rupas in the body can condition other rupas for quite a while.
So the production of new rupas is continuous, but the intake of the nutritive essence is sporadic.
I think Ajahn point, what about now, is we know that when thinking a lot about the food at lunchtime, it's all driven by lobha. But even when thinking about the details in the Abhidhamma, what about the lobha? What about the curiosity? It's very easy to take it all for understanding or for kusala, but so much lobha is present when trying to work out the details, understand the meaning, consider what the nature of the groups of rupas in different realms are, and so on, or what the thinking must be. So even now it's daily life, there can be understanding of the clinging, even whilst discussing these points, thinking about it, because it's so common and has to be known. So this is now. So if I'm asked now, what is there? Lobha for sure. Interest in these different points and topics, but is it interest with kusala citta and understanding, or is it interest with lobha? Mostly it's interest with lobha. So being truthful to the truth means understanding a little more about all kinds of dhammas now, even when studying the Dhamma or reading the book or translating or listening. Lobha comes in. Good to know, I find.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. I will ask if friends have any question on the same topic or other topic. Dạ, cho con xin hỏi các đạo hữu có câu hỏi gì khác hoặc là những cái thắc mắc nào liên quan đến chủ đề vừa rồi hay là câu hỏi chủ đề khác ạ? Lần trước em Thắm mình cũng có nhiều cái thắc mắc với cả cô Hòa nhỉ. Lần trước khi mà mình trao đổi về những cái phần phụ lục của Vietnamese mình cũng có cái thắc mắc, thì không biết là bây giờ cô Hòa hay là bạn Thắm có muốn đưa thêm những cái thắc mắc đó không ạ?
Dạ, con cũng muốn con chào Achan và bà Chonsara, con muốn hỏi thêm về như Achan vừa nói về sắc thì nó là cái yếu tố ở trong cõi ngũ uẩn này. Ví dụ như cái thấy bây giờ đang sinh khởi mà không có sắc nhãn căn thì nó cũng không thể làm duyên để có thể cái thấy có thể sinh khởi. Như vậy thì ngay những cái yếu tố mà sắc do nghiệp nó nó là yếu tố tiên quyết để cho sinh các pháp. Rồi lại những cái yếu tố sắc khác như chính sắc nghiệp, như là sắc nhãn căn thì nó cũng có cần phải nuôi dưỡng bởi sắc dưỡng chất không, hay nó chỉ nuôi bởi nghiệp? Thì con muốn hỏi thêm là chính bản thân cái sắc do nghiệp đấy nó có cần đến các yếu tố như là dưỡng chất hay là thời tiết hay là nhiệt độ để mà nó tồn tại không ạ?
Earlier, Achan said that in the plane where there are 5 khandas, rupa are necessary. And the example was given like the eye sense is necessary for the vijnana chakra to arise. And so sister is thinking about those kamacha rupas. They are produced by karma for sure, but do they need the support from other factors like nutriment or temperature to sustain, or they only need the karma?
The rupas, for example, the eye sense rupas, which are produced by karma, they just last 17 moments. Each group, each kalapa, just lasts for 17 moments, conditioned by karma, and then falls away. And then karma produces groups all the time. So karma is producing groups of rupas, groups of eye sense kalapas all the time, again and again and again. So very, very quick. So they're just produced by karma, not by temperature or nutriment or chitta, just by karma, these groups of rupas. But they fall away and new groups are being produced all the time.
I think it's, we were discussing the other day, the Pachachata, Pachya, and that is a case of rupa being conditioned by nama, citta, that arises after the rupa has already arisen.
Yes, we started the discussion today talking about Pachajata, Pachya, and how the chitta and the cetasikas now support those rupas that haven't yet fallen away. So those rupas, like the eye sense group, were conditioned just by karma, but supported by chitta and cetasikas. It's very subtle point. If there were no chittas and cetasikas arising now, then if it was the end of life, no chitta and cetasikas, karma would have stopped producing rupas earlier, so there would be no more kamaja rupas being produced at the very end of life. But while chitta and cetasikas continue on in life, karma continues producing rupas. No life, no rupas produced by karma.
I'm not sure in what sense the post arising citta does condition and support the previously arisen rupa, because rupas last for 17 moments of citta anyway. So why they need additional support is not clear to me, but that's what the texts say anyway. It's not that they last longer when the citta arises, but they still only last the 17 moments like all other rupas. But somehow that citta does support the rupa.
Như bác Chôn vừa nói thì kể cả như không có tâm hỗ trợ thì sắc nghiệp sinh nó vẫn tồn tại 17 sát na. Như thế thì cái cách nếu mà mình gọi là có hỗ trợ của tâm cho sắc theo cái phương thức là hậu sinh duyên thì nó cũng là một cái yếu tố như là phụ thôi chứ không phải là yếu tố cần yếu của sắc. Đấy là con hiểu sau câu trả lời của bác Chôn ạ.
Not hearing you, Tham. Sorry.
Yes, thank you, John. So sister said that according to what you just said, John, that the lifespan of the rupa is still 17 moments of chitta. So the chitta that have been produced by either causes will last 17 moments anyway. So then the role of support of chitta and chittasika in the case of post-nascence conditions are only secondary, not the main role, right? Because they will be there. They cannot.
Well, I suppose you can think like that, but I don't know if there's an explanation for this in the text. If so, I haven't read it, but I just noticed that the support doesn't extend the life of the rupa. It still only lasts, as far as I know, the 17 moments.
I think it's like the example of the voucher that I gave from the text, even though the mother voucher is not feeding the chicks by presence and by visiting the chicks. It gives enough support for that life to continue on. So it's like indirect support. And yes, if it was close to the end of life, as I mentioned, karma stops producing rupas. But while chittas continue to arise and fall away in life, then karma continues to produce the rupas, which last for 17 moments. But if chittas are not arising, then karma will not continue to produce rupas. Perhaps Ajahn has more to add on these points.
As much as we can understand, the truth is that citta does not support all rupas to last for 17 times of citta at all. Just about that which is the object, that it hasn't fallen away yet, because the citta experience it to support it to be the object of the other the next moment of citta to experience. That's all, as long as they concern. By way that it has to be the object of citta until it's gone. So the citta supports it by experiences it to be the object of experiencing moment.
To be the object in the case of post-nascence, Ajahn?
Because citta does not support all kinds of rupa to last for 17 moments, but to be object of experiencing moment by citta. Because citta experiences the object until it's gone. That's why each moment of citta. The first one, experience it, support it by way of to be object of the next moment, citta, the next citta. Just when it's the object of experiencing in a process.
Like now the visible object is seen, so each citta that experiencing it supports that visible object. Is that what you mean, Ajahn?
Mm-hmm. Because citta does not support all kinds or rupas. It just supports the one which is the object of experiencing. For seeing and other citta follow to experience it. So support by way of experiencing it from moment to moment for the next moment to experience it. Because citta is there, experience it, and then as soon as it falls away, it conditions the next one to experience that object on and on until the end of that process. Only in a
Vậy thì
process,
là
as much as we
nhưng
can understand the truth, because even the rupa which is not experienced lasts for 17 times of citta, but when it's their experience, the citta supports it to be object to be experienced by the next citta.
So, Ajahn, earlier we were talking about the sense-based rupa. That would not be supported by the citta that subsequently arises on that base because it's not the object of experience. Is that the situation?
So, what is the Pachachatapatya? What citta?
According to the text, Jan, I looked in the Patana, any and every citta and cetasikas except for the Patisandhi citta, it says it conditions the arisen rupas by Pachajata Pachya. So the Patisandhi citta cannot, because the rupas are conditioned to arise at the same moment. But the first Bhavanga citta, no process yet. The first Bhavanga citta following the Patisandhi citta conditions the karma-produced rupas, which were conditioned at the first moment of life, and also the temperature-produced rupas conditioned by the temperature in the first kalapas. And then the second Bhavanga citta conditions the first kamaja-produced rupas, the temperature-produced rupas, and also now the citta-produced rupas from the first Bhavanga citta and the next citta on and on. Conditioning, it says, all rupas of the body conditioned by all four sources, by karma, citta, temperature, and nutriment that have already arisen at their midterm point, not yet fallen away. So it's quite intricate, but it says very clearly every citta and all cetasikas other than the Patisandhi citta for the rest of life condition the rupas of the body that are still present.
But it does not pinpoint how long for one citta to be Pachachatapatya for arupa, right?
So, well, each chitta just lasts for a moment and conditions the rupas that have arisen, that are still present. And then the next chitta, second bhavanga chitta, still conditions that kamaja rupas conditioned at the first moment of life, and the temperature produced rupas at second moment of life, and now also the chitta produced rupas at the third moment of life. And so each chitta conditions those rupas still present that haven't yet fallen away, on and on and on.
But what chitta?
Just for a moment.
Yeah, but it doesn't say what chitta condition, what rupa by way of paccata for how long?
Well, it just conditions them for that moment when the chitta arises. It just conditions them at that moment, and then the next chitta conditions them at the next moment.
But it doesn't pinpoint this chitta condition support that rupa, and the next one and the next one support by way of paccata of one rupa, just in general, right?
I think it's quite precise, quite pinpoint. For example, it says, let's say those first kamaja rupas conditioned with the patisandhi chitta. So the first bhavanga chitta conditions them, the second one does, the third one does, until they have fallen away. And the second one also it doesn't just condition those kamaja rupas, but also the temperature produced ones. And then the third chitta will condition still the kamaja rupas, the temperature produced ones, now the chitta produced ones, and the fourth bhavanga. So it's quite precise, quite pinpoint. I mean, one has to look very carefully, but it's quite precise and quite detailed exactly which rupas are conditioned from the second moment of life by Pachajata Pachya.
For how long it doesn't tell, or it doesn't pinpoint. For how long? For one rupa, 17 moments of chitta. That's all. Just the chitta, the rupa lasts for 17 moments of chitta, and the chitta support it. But by way of experiencing an object, it shows one rupa lasts for 17 moments. So the one process of seeing is paccata for that particular rupa.
Exactly, yes. So the karma produces the rupa and it will last for 17 moments, but the chittas will condition it just at the moment they're arising, yes. The reason it lasts for the 17 moments is by karma, but the chittas, the following chittas, condition support it.
And I would like to add that according to what I've been reading, but this may or may not be a correct description, that all rupas of the body are the Paccupannadhamma. So that would include the sense bases also, even though they don't become the object of chitta.
Yes, all rupas of the body conditioned by all four sources, by karma, chitta, nutriment, and temperature. All rupas, yes. It says that very clearly in the Patana.
Each one or all?
All of them. So all the rupas of the body that are present, for example, when the first bhavanga chitta arises, it supports all the rupas that are present. So that is the rupas in the Hadyawatu group, in the masculinity group, the body sense group, all conditioned by that first.
But after that, later in life, is it still all rupas?
one chitta?
Well, that's
What
the way
I-
it seems to read.
That's the way it reads. That's the way I understand it, that the chitta supports
So
all the rupas that have been conditioned at a certain phase in their life.
So in the process, in the seeing process, the seeing consciousness support all the rupas?
Yes, by Pachajata Pachya, it
And
supports all the rupas still present in the body.
Support all the rupas, which are supported by the seeing consciousness, or what?
So the seeing consciousness supports them at the moment when it's present. And then the seeing consciousness has fallen away, and the Sampatichana supports those that are present. So those that haven't fallen away yet, those that are still present, yes.
All or one rupa?
All rupas that are conditioned by all sources.
Or includes any plane of existence, or what?
Just of that body.
No, just in one's own body, yes, not in the other body, or just the rupas that have arisen in that particular body that was originally conditioned by the result of karma.
And when the seeing's gone, the next moment support the same rupa that seeing has supported?
Yes, the same group of rupas, but each time, of course, one rupa, many rupas will have fallen away because it's the end of their lifespan. So the rupas conditioned by the Tadaramana in that process, some rupas will have all finished. So it just supports those that are present.
So one rupa is supported by all rupas, is supported by all rupas are supported by one moment of citta.
Yes, and it's kind of like indirect support, like the vulture feeding the babies, but not actually giving food. But because of the arising of the chitta, the presence of the chitta, it is a support for those rupas
Even it's already
continue.
Yeah. Even it is supported by the last citta. The next citta also supported.
It also needs the support, and it conditions the temperature in those rupas to continue conditioning more rupas by temperature too.
Just one citta support all rupas, and the next one
in the body supports
also
all
support
rupas.
the rupa which has supported by the previous citta.
Yes, and the next one, yes.
So
those present.
There's a simile given, I think this is a note from the commentaries, that they say it's like rainwater that falls later, promotes the growth and development of already existing vegetation. In the same way, the subsequently arisen mental states support the pre-arisen material phenomena, so that they continue to produce similar material phenomena in succession.
To me, I think that one citta support the rupa which is there, which is already there. And the next one support the rupa which is already there. It depends on what is meant by all of them, or only that which is supported.
Those which are present already, yes, not those that haven't arisen, but those are present, yes, continue to support them so they can continue to produce more rupas. But as they fall away, no longer supported. So the citta now doesn't support the same rupas as the citta a moment ago, because different rupas that are present, but all rupas of the body are supported in this way.
Perhaps we need to look into this further after the discussion, so that we can consider the points that Ajahn has just been making?
Because there are all kinds of rupa. The rupa which has its characteristic lasts for only 17 moments of citta.
Yes, so when it's no longer lasting, it's not supported anymore. Like the rain, that puddles that have completely dried up are not supported anymore. So, or the vouchers, babies that have flown away are not supported anymore. So it's just supporting those that are present at that time.
And does it support even that which is going to fall away, or that which should just begin?
I think it's, yeah, this is a point. This is a point I need to check. I think it's just during the middle section, the presence of those rupas. I don't think it's at the beginning and end, but I would need to double check that. I think that's what I read.
That's why there must be the enlightened one and his followers, different quality of understanding.
And it's daily life. The citta's now supporting the rupas that have been produced in different ways. So we can see how intricate it is. But it's a bit like when we say each citta must have an aramana. The aramana doesn't actually do anything. It's just the object of experience. And the same when one says the cittas support those rupas that have already been produced in different ways. The citta doesn't do anything, but it has to arise and give support in order for those rupas to condition more rupas and so on. Anyway, interesting points we can all consider a little more.
Yes, by the way, as we talk about aramana, about the object, so in the case of adipati pachaya or aramanu upanisaya pachaya, so the object can be concept as well as realities, right? Like, for example, when they say that kusala deeds can be the object of kusala, can be aramanu upanisaya pachaya for the chitta and chittasika that condition, that experience it. In that case, it's only the concept of the previously done, right?
Right. And what about lobha, when it's a strong liking for a particular object? For example, strong liking for the taste of a particular food. It's a concept, thinking about, dreaming about that particular taste again and again. Arvanupanisya pachya. So it can be reality or a concept. Like the concept which is experienced by jhana cittas can be the object again and again, to be the object of those jhana cittas.
So only the case of object that pachaya is a concept can be pachaya. Otherwise, it has to be realities, right?
Usually when we're talking about the pachya and the paccayupanna, usually the pachya is a reality and the paccayupanna is a reality. But in the case of aramana, no matter whether it's aramana paccaya or aramanu apanisya, then it is the object that can be reality or concept. Yes, one may keep reflecting on a good deed done with attachment or with understanding. it's the concept of that good deed, because it's just thinking about the deed that was done.
Thank you.
Can rupa arise without the support of citta? Can
Yes, in the arupa Brahma plane, for example, it can arise without the support of rupa.
asanjasata Brahma?
That in that plane, rupa arise without citta.
Namas in that realm, so it's not supported by the chittas and chaitasikas. No need.
In this realm, rupas arise without support of citta too. Inanimate rupas.
Outside the body. Yeah. Yes. And the first moment of life too. But actually at the first moment of life, the chitta and chaitasikas and hadiyao watu, they condition each other.
So
Hi, it's amazing how you can keep up. Managing very well. Sorry, Ajahn, please.
So can the citta support the rupa at the moment when it arises or after that?
The rupa can be the base for the citta only at a moment of not arising, but after that.
So at moment of birth, citta does not support the rupa, or does it?
No, I think that's right, Ajahn, because that's why it's Pachayapana, post-nascence.
That's why the
It
rupa
cannot,
has to
yes, it
arise
cannot,
first.
Yeah.
yes. So by Pachajata Pachya, it cannot condition the rupas by post-nascence at the moment of birth, because no rupas have already arisen. But the chitta and chaitasikas and the hadiyawatu condition each other by Sahajata Pachya.
And the Pavanka Citta, the first one, support the rupa, which has arisen.
Exactly. And the only rupas that have arisen when the first bhavanga arises are just the kamaja rupas. So it just supports the kamaja rupas because no other rupas in the body. But the second bhavanga citta conditions those kamaja rupas which are still present, and also the rupas conditioned by the temperature in those first kamaja rupas. So it conditions the kamaja rupas and the temperature produced rupas. And then the third bhavanga citta, it conditions those kamaja rupas still present, the temperature produced rupas still present, and also the citta produced rupas, because the citta of the
and the second bhavanga support the rupa which arises at moment of the first bhavanga.
Yes.
And also
and the temperature produced rupas, because the temperature in those first kalapas,
no matter
base,
it's conditioned by temperature or what, the second
exactly
one conditioned by way of Pachaya, and
yes.
the third one, not, it also support the rupa, which is supported by the first
and the
and
second,
the second,
yes. So
and the third, and
yes,
because
so
it's
it
almost
supports,
fall away, so it doesn't matter whether it is just arise or it's going to fall
exactly
away. The citta supports all rupa.
It supports all the rupas. And so by the third one, it's supporting the Kamaja rupas, the temperature-produced rupas, and the Chittaja rupas. Yes. And the fourth one, more, because there are more temperature-produced rupas, more Chittaja rupas.
Not only
So-
one rupa, but all, no matter it's
All
going
the
to fall
rupas.
away or it just arises.
Yes. And all produced by different sources. Yes. All the rupas of the body. Yes.
No matter it's going to fall away
Yes.
or not.
Because if it says that the first Bhavanga Chitta conditions the Kamaja rupas, those have only just arisen for one moment, just arisen at the moment of the Patisandhi. So it's, yes, so each one goes on conditioning the rupas that are present.
And
All
what
rupas.
all means it includes the rupa conditioned by chitta, conditioned by kamma, conditioned by uttu, and conditioned by ahara.
Right? Yes, exactly. So as soon as there is any nutriment taking, then it starts conditioning those ones too. Yes. So many, 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 many kalapas of rupas
So only
supported in this way, so that they go on producing more rupas and continue arising.
In the plane of asanya satta brahma, they cannot be pacha chatra.
Exactly,
Pachya.
because the pachya is always chitta and chetasika. So if no chittas and chetasikas, no pachajata pachya.
Include the arupa brahma as well.
Yes, no chittas and chetasikas. But in the rupa brahma, where there are no rupas, so no rupas to be supported. No, so cannot be pachajata pachya, because nothing to be conditioned. Exactly. And in the Rupa Brahma, just the limited groups of rupas that have arisen in this way.
It's beyond anyone's accumulation of right understanding of it to experience that, I think, except those who has great virtues of wisdom.
Yes, Buddha's omniscient wisdom. But I think it's interesting because it's daily life, the chitta, the chetasikas arise necessary for the support of the rupas to be maintained, to continue until it's time for them to fall away.
Well, it might be now, but we can't even conceptualize the way in which it's operating.
And what about, is it possible for chitta to support the rupa which arises right then by way of the seeing and hearing and so on? It supports the one rupa which is there as the object, or it supports all rupas?
All rupas.
These are not rupas of the body, though. The object of the seeing and the hearing are not
so
rupas
it's not
of the
the
body.
object outside the body. No, just the rupas in the body. So if it's the visible object rupa in that is in the group conditioned by karma, then it is supported.
Seeing the body or part of the body, or that which the rupa conditioned by karma in the body, right?
So it's supported.
Kammacha rupa.
Kamaja rupa. So it is supported by the chittas.
Well, it's supported whether it's the object of seeing or not.
Yes. Even the hardness that is in the kalapa with the visible object conditioned by karma, it's not seen, but it's still supported by that chitta, the seeing consciousness chitta, and the other chittas in the process.
This is on the rupa, the classification of rupa,
Rupas, yes.
the section on rupa.
And the femininity rupa,
And the
all
bunch,
the rupas of the body, all conditioned, all supported. Because they're arising and falling away all the time. All under, yes, all under Paccajata Pachya. Does anyone else have anything they want to just mention before we finish?
Thế cô Hòa có định hỏi thêm gì không ạ? Hay là có đạo hữu nào có hỏi thêm gì không ạ? I think for now, no one.
Like last week, it's become another session of deep topics today.
Very deep. And about the question asked by Avai.
Okay, Hetu Pachya. So actually I discussed it a little more with him in another topic. His question briefly was, how can the Chitta and Chaitasikas condition, what was it? Conditioned by Hetu Pachya. So in other words, the Chittaja rupas, which are experienced, which are conditioned by the Chitta and accompanying Chaitasikas. So these rupas are also conditioned by Hetu Pachya, the kusala or akusala hetus that arise with the Chitta condition those rupas by Hetu Pachya as well as by Chittaja, as well as by Chitta. For example, when thinking now with Lobha, the Lobha conditions the rupas by Hetu. We know that the rupas, when there's a lot of Lobha, are affected, just like if there's dosa and one blushes and becomes red, the rupas are conditioned by the dosa. So the rupas are conditioned by the hetus, which accompany the chitta, which produces those rupas.
So to summarize, in any instance where rupa is conditioned by citta and the citta has roots, then the rupa is conditioned by the roots as well as by the citta.
Kusala or akusala roots.
And that is linked to the question by another friend in the Vietnam group that, like the Loba Mola Chitta condition the rupas, and those rupas, are they of any difference with the rupas that are conditioned by dosa, for example?
I think the example I just gave is an indication, like when there's Lobha and the rupas, for example, you see the smiling face conditioned by Lobha or conditioned by metta, different from when rupas are conditioned by dosa and there's a long face and a scowl and unhappy look in the features, or red flushing, for example. So we have an idea whether someone is happy or sad or kind or being mean, because the roots condition the rupas.
But in either case, the rupa is just the rupa. The fact that it's been conditioned by lobha versus dosa doesn't have any impact on the rupa itself.
Yes, I think when she asked the question, she implied that, for example, it is generally believed that people who have cheerful temperament, tend to have better health than someone with angry temperament, for example.
Met so many different factors, and again we start to think of a situation of the good health or the good body, but yes, what about the karma and so many different factors conditioning those rupas? But we can say generally the chittas with lobha condition rupas that are different from the chittas with dosa, that's all.
I think this is quite a popular topic of research in the conventional world these days.
Right.
And there's a lot of conventional evidence of a correlation between a happy and positive disposition and good health. But I don't think it has any significance in Dhamma terms.
Okay, maybe some topics to consider and reflect on and discuss next time.
Thank you so much,
Bye, Sita.
Ajahn.